Hi y'all. So today I'm gonna do a life update slash get ready with me. Um I'm just kinda gonna get ready for the day. Not really like anything exciting. Sorry, my contacts being funny. But life's life's changed really over the year. I haven't made a video in a year. But yeah, a lot changed in a year. So I finally moved out. Me and my boyfriend got our first apartment. And the funny thing is that my mom is actually our neighbor. Um, and sorry, I'm doing kind of like a little skin prep before I do my makeup. And yeah, so last year me and Andy started dating in June. And then kind of things just hit it off real nice. He's a really sweet person and I really love him. I don't know, just kind of from like being in like really toxic relationships or like people who just like were really awful to going to someone who's just like very caring. And honestly, the only person I can thank is God, because I feel like as soon as I gave my heart to Jesus, just life just got better, to be honest. And yeah, like I'm really happy. I am. Also, another update. Well, I'll get there. All right. So we moved out actually during the eclipse. Um, we have a new kitty. Her name is Baba. I call her my little boo boo Lou, or my little boobs, and she's like the sweetest thing ever. She's like an orphaned kitty that my brother had found, and yeah, like we've been doing pretty good with raising her. What's another thing? Oh yeah, hold on, let me just show you guys, because I was gonna stall a little bit, but let me just get up and show. I'm too short. I'm very much so pregnant. 8 months. So honestly, we kind of feel like they're coming any minute. I say there because it's gonna be a surprise. We don't know if it's a boy or girl. My intuition says boy, but I don't know, because lately there's been a lot of girls being born, so I don't know. But I'm happy with either or, which is why I didn't want to know. Because I feel like a lot of the times, like, it's so many, like, gender reveals, and the disappointment from everyone is just kind of, like, sad. Because it's like, at the end of the day, you're keeping this baby. This is your child. So imagine them seeing you get disappointed over their gender, which they have no control over. And obviously, you have no control over either. So it's just, I don't know. I feel like that's really ugly. So yeah, I thought it'd be even more special to just kind of like, when I meet them in person, to just kind of know them for the very first time. And regardless, I love my baby very, very much. It wasn't a planned pregnancy. But like I said, I am very excited. I'm very happy. Like, the way that I found out was actually, I don't know, like, I have an abnormal period, but I don't know, something just kind of told me and Andy to just kind of like take a test anyway. So I'm like, I doubt that I'm pregnant. I was like, my period's just abnormal. Like, I've been like PMSing. I'm having my period soon. I know it. And so we went to the gym and I was swimming. And then we decided to go to Target. And we took a pregnancy test in the bathroom. And then it was like instantly positive. And I was like, what? Mind you, it was like, the reason that I was so shocked is because I had taken 2 Plan Bs that week. Cause it's like, it was kind of like the first time me and Andy had like been doing things. And yeah, so I took a plan B, and then obviously that did not work. So it was just kind of like a real shocker. And kind of like my first reactions was just more so me crying, because I was just like, I don't know, I wasn't prepared for that. I'm like, we're still living, both of us were living with my mom. And it's just like, why? What the hell? Like, how could this happen off the first times, honestly? And it's just like, yeah, it was just kind of scary, which is why I was crying. I wasn't like, oh no, I don't want my baby. Like, from the jump, I was like, it's scary, but hey, I was the one that, like, did the nasty. It wasn't like it was forced. It wasn't like it was with someone that I didn't love, or someone that, was irresponsible. So I just felt like the circumstances were a little bit different, but the person, I feel like, was the right one. So I was just like, you know what? Yeah, like, I'm scared, but we're doing this. Like, we are. So the first person that I told was my mom, and then my manager, because I was like, look, Kate, I'm gonna be running a little bit late because I'm trying to go to the doctor just to, like, double check and, like, kind of see, like, how far along and stuff. So it's funny because I go to the doctor, and then, like, 2-3 days later, they're like, you're 4 weeks pregnant. And I'm like, so yeah, I found out pretty early, and I'm just like, bro, what? Yeah, it was very, like, shocking. It was just kind of like how? But I mean, obviously you know how, but it's just like the fact that, like, I took a plan B and it's just like it did not work. It's just kind of like, what? Like, kind of goes to show you, like, don't trust that the plan B is gonna work. So heads up to the girlies out there. Just kind of, like, either be, like, on birth control or actually, like, use protection. Because if you're actually not going to, like, I don't know, want to have a baby, just don't do it. But yeah, so that's why I was like, okay, 4 weeks. And then, I don't know, my mom seemed, like, really happy. I feel like everybody around us was just kind of, like, very, to the people that we did tell, were kind of very supportive of us. And that made me really happy, because I feel like it kind of took away that, like, being scared. And it made me feel better. So yeah, sorry. I get, like, kind of distracted when I do my eyebrows. So yeah, it made me feel a lot better to kind of have that, like, moral support from, like, people around us, because, it's a scary time, especially when you're pregnant. It's just like you kind of, like, get all emotional, and I was so emotional, like, the first 2 months. Especially because, like, living with my mom, I feel like was just kind of very stressful. And, yeah, it was just kind of, like, a lot. And I was just kind of, like, very overwhelmed, especially felt like, I don't know. Like, me and my mom, like, our relationship has gotten better, but at the same time, it's just, sometimes you just kind of be, like, a little bit, like, losing it. So that didn't really help. Especially when you're pregnant, you kind of don't want to be dealing with, like, any, like, drama or any screaming and all that. So, yeah. So then around March, so I found out in December, like, early December. So around March, we're, like, kind of, like, looking more to, like, get our first apartment. And we're like, you know what, let's just apply to the apartments here. And because we knew that there was going to be, like, an open apartment, but we didn't know it was going to be that close to my mom. We just knew that it was one open apartment. So we're applying, and then we realized that there's one literally in the building before hers. And then I was like, oh, okay, let's just apply. So it's a two bedroom, right? And so we applied, and then luckily, like, the process didn't take too long. Like, we moved in, like, within a month. yeah, so like during the eclipse was the day that the move-in day, and a week beforehand my little brother had helped me out with just kind of like boxing a lot of our stuff. We bought things slowly and just kind of like got things like a lot on sale, went to Marshalls, got a lot of stuff on clearance that would like kind of be like essential home stuff, like things for the bathroom, things for the kitchen, and yeah, just kind of like essentials. And then we went to Costco to kind of buy like our big paper towels or toilet paper. And we had gotten our couch and our dining table on sale. At this place, they were having like 70% off, you know, everything must go. So we're like, you know, here's the chance. So we got our couch for like 300 bucks. Mind you, that couch, them naps, amazing. Um, Sorry, I'm gonna grab me a little shadow palette. So, so I got our couch for 300 bucks, and then our dining table had the chairs. It sits up to like 7 people, but it has like a little bench and 4 chairs. But so yeah, so our little dining table was like 650. So everything was like 950 altogether. So it was really good. It was like a really good deal because it's just like, you know, you when you're first moving in, especially as like both our first apartment, it's just kind of like a lot. It's like a lot to take in, and it's a lot to like get done. And definitely, even though we did get a lot of stuff like on sale and, you know, just kind of took our time with buying like essentials, it still like definitely hurt our pockets. So there's that. And yeah, so then like yeah, we moved out like yeah, during the eclipse. So it was like what, April 8th, 9th. And then at the endings of April was when my little brother popped up with our little booba. And honestly, she's just our little blessing. We've just been really happy. And my 2 older cats really love her, which I was so surprised that my oldest loves her because my little orange tabby is just kind of a mess sometimes. But yeah. And also, surprisingly, which I love, just my baby has been so good to me because I have had no morning sickness at all throughout the pregnancy. Overall, like the pregnancy has gone by really, really nicely. And I'm really happy about that. The only down thing that happened, but I feel like it hasn't been that bad, is I did get just gestational diabetes, which it does go away once you have the baby, but it's still just like a lot. Like it's very like I am limited to my sweets and my carbs because that does have sugar as well. So I've just kind of been having to like readjust the way that I've been eating. And I have to take insulin, which is kind of annoying because I have to be like on top of that. And yeah, so that's just kind of a little bit irritating. That's like the only like I'd say the only like downside. But outside of that, yeah, I feel like my pregnancy has been really really nice, really smooth. Um I feel like the baby like really like adjusted well on my body. Like I actually ended up kind of like losing a little bit of weight, and it's just like kind of all just going towards like the front, like just on my belly, like, and it's nice, looks cute. And yeah, like overall I've still been working. Towards like the last 2 months I just kind of told my manager like, hey, is it possible to just kind of cut down the hours because it's weird that I actually ended up being more sleepy now that the baby got bigger versus like the first months, which a lot of people usually say that like throughout the first months of you being pregnant, you're like extremely tired and da 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 da, which I didn't actually feel that. I actually felt fine. And then, so last year I became pescatarian during Lent, and I just kind of like kept that going. But this last month of the pregnancy Well, I guess it's the last 2 months, I guess, because I've still been eating it. But I started craving meat so bad. And I'm just like, I don't feel like it's me because, yeah, throughout the whole pregnancy, I was fine. I didn't crave any meat. I wasn't craving like anything crazy. I haven't craved anything weird. But yeah, like I've been craving meat so bad. So I like, I've been eating hot dogs and I'm like, oh, they're so good. And I was craving, they're called, well, you like it's carne asada, but I was craving the costillas, like the very like fatty part. I was craving that like a lot. So I finally got that on like July 4th because my mom had like a little carne asada. I had gone to work that day, but when I came home, because I had told her that I was craving it, so she was like, we still have some carne asada or whatever. And I was like, okay. So I got me finally like my little fatty part, and it was so good. And I'm just like, oh, this is exactly what I was craving for so long. Because my job is in front of an Uncle Julio, so I just kind of smell the like meat on the grill, and that's just kind of like what I kept picturing, and I could literally taste it. And I'm just like, oh, I want that so bad. So yeah, so I finally got that, and it was really good. But over the weekend, I had to be admitted to the hospital because my fluid had gone down a lot. Like I was extremely dehydrated. They were like, like, are you feeling any contractions? Like, do you feel like any discharge, any bleeding? And I'm just like, no, I don't feel none of that. And then they're just like, kind of like just trying to figure out what the hell is happening to me. And pretty much, yeah, it was just the fact that I was just really dehydrated. So I had to, the reason we found out is like on Friday we went to our appointment. And then during our appointment, the lady's just like kind of like asking me like, like, have you been drinking a lot of water? And I'm like, I think so. Yeah, like I've been drinking water. And she's just like, and I was like, why? Is there something wrong? And then like she wouldn't tell me. And I'm just like, okay. She's like, no. Just hold on, let me get the doctor. And then she goes and shows the doctor like the whole ultrasound. And then they're like, yeah, we have to send you to the hospital right now because your amniotic fluid needs to be at 10 centimeters and it's at 3. And I'm just like, oh my God, like, huh? But to me, I was actually very excited because I was just like, I don't know, in my head, I thought like, oh, maybe I'm going to have the baby soon. Like, I was actually kind of like happy to finally meet my little baby. But no. So basically, we had to be sent over, and then he just kind of gave me like a heads up. He was like, if you do have this baby, you can't take home the baby instantly. So just letting you know, like, yeah, you could have this baby right now, but the baby would have to be in the NICU. So I'm just like, okay. But I still wasn't like worried about it. I wasn't stressed about it. So yeah, so he's telling me that the baby would have to be in the NICU, and then I'm just like, okay. And yeah, so I can't even think. So yeah, so he tells me that the baby might have to be in the NICU, and I'm like, oh, all right. And he was like, yeah, so but like, it's either gonna be like 3 weeks of the baby being inside of you or 3 weeks of the baby staying at the hospital. And I'm pretty sure you don't want the baby to stay at the hospital. So I'm just like, yeah, that's true. So sorry, I was trying to look for some liner. So yeah, so we ended up going to the hospital, and yeah, so he was like, yeah, he kind of just explained that like, if I had the baby, that didn't mean that I was gonna get to take the baby home. It was more so like, or we're gonna try to like hydrate you, and then you continue the pregnancy for like 3 more weeks, or if the baby's preterm, then they're gonna have to stay in the NICU. And then I was like, okay. So I had to be at the hospital for like what, like 4 days 3 nights. So from Friday up till like Monday afternoon, and I was just like so like annoyed of being there because I was just so bored. All I could do is just kind of just watch TV, drink water, and like stayed with the IV. So I'm still kind of like bruised up. It's gotten better though, but yeah. So I was just kind of just like on the IV, just kind of waiting. But like I said, I was just kind of ready to have the baby. I was really excited either way. But then, yeah, so they checked me. They're like, your cervix is like closed. You're not. They did like a little culture. They were like, no, like you don't have any fluids coming out. And I was like, yeah, because I didn't even feel like I was gonna go into labor soon. So yeah, so they realized. They're gonna ask me every day though, like, are you having any contractions? Like, are you having any pain? Are you bleeding? And then I'm like, no, because I wasn't. Yeah, so I messed up my liner. So yeah, so basically, then Monday morning I go downstairs, take the little sonogram, and the lady was like, your fluid went up to 6 centimeters. So the doctor had told me if it at least got to like 5, then I could go home. So I was like, thank God. Because like from 3 to 6, I was like really proud. So I'm like, okay, great. That's good. That means I could go home because I was so tired of being there. My butt was hurting from laying on that bed all the time. So yeah, so I finally got to go home and I was so happy. Especially because I was getting really depressed because I really missed my cats. And I could just like, it just made me so sad that I couldn't be with them. So, I forgot to put my primer. Where is it actually? Anyways, so yeah, so I was just kind of really depressed that I wasn't with my cats, and it just made me so sad because I'm like, I feel like they probably think that I just like freaking abandoned them and I'm just not coming back home or something. Cause like the hell, like I'm their mama. Like what is happening? So yeah, so I was just kind of really happy to go back to my cats. And then as soon as I got home, my little booba was just really happy. Like, I kid you not, for like this whole week, she hasn't been like attacking me. Like, like sometimes kittens just kind of like to play rough and just kind of like bite you all the time. So it's just kind of just been like, I don't know. She's been more gentle and it's just like the sweetest thing ever. So, yeah. Then my little Leo still looked a little like depressed. I feel like he was just more so like, oh, like you really freaking left and you think everything's gonna be cool. Like it's not, like you really left us. And I'm just like, baby, like no, I didn't want to leave you. I had to like stay over there because your mama was dehydrated and I needed to get that together. I needed to get it situated. So yeah, so I did finally get to come home, and then it just felt weird because I started feeling like the baby had like censored even more, because I think like since I had been like in the bed for like 4 days straight, I was just laying in bed, and then I'm finally like able to just like walk. I feel like that kind of like the baby just kind of like adjusted a little bit more, and it just felt like they were like all the way down on my pelvic, like what is it called, like pelvic floor, and it just felt so weird. I was like, bro, no, because I'm like, my baby shower is gonna be next Saturday, and I'm just like, I just want to make it to my baby shower, and I want to have a belly for my baby shower, so please don't come out before your time, all right? But my original due date, which is really cute, and when I found out I started crying, was on my little brother's birthday, which is August 23rd. But like 3 weeks ago, during the ultrasound, they're like, your baby's freaking huge, basically. They're like, your baby's huge, and it's possible that they might come August 5th instead of the 23rd. And I'm just like, oh, interesting. So yeah, yeah, that was a little like a lot, because I'm like, oh, this baby's gonna be big, huh? But they kind of told me that that was a possibility if I had this gestational diabetes, that the baby would be a little bit bigger, and that if they're 9 pounds, then that's a C-section right there, which kind of freaks me out, because it's just like, I'm not trying to get split open, y'all. Ugh. Even though birth in general is just kind of like really scary, but hey, I mean, it is what it is. So yeah, so what the hell was I saying? Yeah, so the baby's pretty big, and they moved up my date to August 5th, which is another really special date for me, because that's my aunt and my grandma's birthday. And my aunt just kind of really had like a huge part in my life. She's been like my second mother, honestly. And that's kind of like the aunt that I look the most like, and I'm always like, she's also my mother. And then obviously, like, the fact that her and my grandma have the same birthday is really cute. And it's like, if my baby does come out that day, that'd be like really meaningful to me, because it's just kind of like a gift to them as well. Even though also if it was my brother's birthday, that would have been really cute too. But yeah, so that's pretty much what's going on. And I don't know what else. Like, yeah, so just kind of like, I thought I was gonna go into labor. I didn't go into labor, which is good, because I do want to make it to my baby shower and have a cute belly. And I haven't taken any maternity pics, which I'm planning to do this Saturday, so that I can have like a cute little picture for the baby shower. And then I'm just kind of getting everything in order, so I'm really excited. I'm actually really happy for my baby shower, because it's like, just getting everything kind of prepared for the baby. Even though we already got like, Andy built the crib once like everything was kind of like a little, maybe the baby might come soon type of thing. So he built the crib already over the weekend, just in case even though I'm like, it doesn't really matter, because if we did have the baby during that time, either way we weren't going to be able to take the baby home. But yeah, so the good thing is, like, I feel like for the most part we got like kind of like our most expensive like gifts already. Like, we got our stroller, which the stroller is the Duna stroller, so it's a car seat and a stroller. And we got our crib. We also my best friend bought us the little walker, so like, once they like start like trying to learn how to walk. And what else? Like, my old choir teacher from like middle school, I had invited him. He was like, I'm not gonna be able to show up with my family because we're gonna go on vacation, but he sent over like some little bottles, the nipple butter. And then my other cousin got us a little like carrier wrap, which is really cute. Well, and like all our stuff is gonna be more like gray and like beige kind of like thing, because it's like, yeah, so we don't know if it's a boy or girl, and I just wanted like very neutral stuff, so that's good. And yeah, so I'm very excited. I'm just very happy, because it's so cute. Like, I feel like my baby is so loved already, especially like how everybody's just kind of like come together and just, oh, sorry about that. Let's adjust that. So yeah, so I feel like my baby's really loved, because everybody's just kind of come together and gotten like so many like very like needed things. I know like in the registry it also tells me that like one of like the other guys bought the high chair for them to eat, which is like, okay, so like it's just kind of like the more, oh look, there's the crib. so it's just kind of like the more like essential things that have been bought already, and it's just like, okay, you know, I feel more at ease because I feel like those things are just like, yeah, like they're just gonna be like out the way, and yeah, that kind of just helps out a lot. But overall, yeah, that's like the whole update. I'm really happy to be a mommy soon, and yeah, like I'm really happy because it's with my little aunt, and like he's a really good person, and I love him so much, and I know that he's gonna be a great daddy too. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for listening, and have a blessed and beautiful day.